Imagine, the unthinkable has happened. You have planned, prepared, and stocked your pantry, but as you reach for food, you find it spoiled, unusable. A chilling thought, isn't it? In the world of prepping, the concept of a well-stocked pantry is highly revered. It is the lifeline in times of crisis, a beacon of hope when the world outside is uncertain. It's a symbol of readiness, resilience, and foresight. But what if that beacon starts to flicker? What if, at the hour of need, you find your lifeline severed, your pantry filled not with sustenance but with spoiling, unusable food? The reality is, this could happen to anyone. Yes, even to the most seasoned preppers among us. The reason? Mistakes. Common, easily overlooked mistakes that can turn a prepper pantry from a survival haven into a hollow shell of wasted resources. Perhaps you're wondering, what could I possibly be doing wrong? I've got a pantry full of food, right? But the question isn't whether you have food. The question is, do you have the right food? You see, not every food item is suitable for long-term storage. Some foods, despite their everyday usefulness, simply don't have a place in a prepper pantry. They have a short shelf life, usually under a year, and can spoil quickly, making them a poor choice for crisis situations. We're talking about foods like brown rice, bread, dairy products, boxed meals, canned fruit, fresh produce, cereals, nuts, condiments, and rooted veggies like potatoes, squash, and turnip. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. Awareness is the first step towards correction. By shedding light on these common pantry mistakes, we can ensure that when the time comes, your pantry won't let you down. As we delve deeper into the specifics, you'll gain a clearer understanding of why these foods are a no-go for your prepper pantry and what you should be stocking up instead. So, are you ready to uncover these deadly pantry mistakes that could jeopardize your survival? Stay with us. First on our list, the grainy troublemakers, brown rice and bread. While they may seem like pantry staples, they're not ideal for long-term storage. Brown rice, rich in oils, goes rancid after 6 to 12 months, even when stored in ideal conditions. It's a ticking time bomb in your pantry, ready to spoil your plans when you least expect it. On the other hand, bread, that soft, fluffy loaf, is a magnet for mold. Even the preservative-packed versions succumb to mold within a week or two. Freezing can extend its life, but in a power outage, it's a lost cause. Plus, the space it takes up could be better used for items with a longer shelf life. Both these foods, while nutritious and satisfying, are simply not cut out for the long haul. They're more likely to leave you with a spoiled stash than a bountiful supply. So next time you go shopping, skip the brown rice and bread aisle. Moving on to our second pitfall, dairy products and boxed meals. Dairy products may seem like a great idea for a prepper pantry, right? They're a staple in most of our diets. But remember, dairy products are perishable. Even if they're powdered or canned, they have a shorter shelf life than you might think. Now let's talk about those convenient boxed meals. They're quick, they're easy, but they're also heavily dependent on preservatives. Over time, these preservatives can degrade, affecting both the taste and safety of the food. Not to mention, many boxed meals also require additional perishable ingredients to prepare. In a survival situation, it's all about longevity, folks. Your food stores need to be reliable, nutritious, and long-lasting. Unfortunately, dairy products and boxed meals just don't fit the bill. They're a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Remember, in a crisis, longevity is key. Dairy and boxed meals? Not so much. Now, let's delve into the fresh and fruity mistake: canned fruit and fresh produce. It might seem counterintuitive, but hear me out. Canned fruits, while tasty and convenient, often hide a sinister secret. Many brands pack their fruits in heavy syrup, which is a sugar-saturated solution. This high sugar content can accelerate spoilage, making them a risky choice for long-term storage. And as for fresh produce, well, the clue is in the name. Fresh produce is a wonderful source of nutrition, but it's a ticking time bomb in terms of longevity. Even under the most ideal conditions, fresh fruits and vegetables have a relatively short lifespan, making them unsuitable for your prepper pantry. So before you go filling your storage with canned peaches and fresh apples, remember the goal is sustainability. It's a hard truth to swallow, but not all fruits are your friends in a crisis. Next up, the breakfast blunders, cereals and nuts. Now you might be thinking, what's wrong with cereals and nuts? They're dry, they're compact, they're nutritious. Well, that's true. However, the problem lies in the high oil content found in both these food groups. Cereals, particularly those that are whole grain, contain natural oils that can go rancid when exposed to air for extended periods. The same goes for nuts. They might seem dry and safe, but they're actually filled with oils that can turn rancid over time, especially if not stored in airtight containers or in the fridge. And let's face it, in a survival situation, refrigeration might not be an option. So while these might seem like ideal candidates for your prepper pantry, the risk of rancidity makes them less than ideal. So say no to these seemingly innocent breakfast staples. Finally, the last mistake that might surprise you: condiments and rooted veggies. Now, who doesn't love a good squirt of ketchup or a dollop of mayo on their meals? But before you stockpile your pantry with these flavor enhancers, remember, not all condiments are created equal. Some, like mustard and vinegar, can last years unopened. But others, like mayonnaise and salad dressings, have a disappointingly short shelf life, even unopened. Once they're opened, their lifespan shortens dramatically. Now let's dig into rooted veggies. Potatoes, turnips, and squashes. Oh my. While they seem sturdy and long-lasting, these grounded goodies can be tricky to store. They need a cool, dark, and well-ventilated space to prevent rot and sprouting, and even then, their shelf life is not as long as you'd hope. So, don't let these sneaky items undermine your survival plans. So, there you have it. The common pantry mistakes that could turn your survival dream into a nightmare. Let's take a moment to recap what we've just discussed. We've identified a list of 10 foods that, while they may seem like good choices for a prepper pantry, are actually not ideal for long-term storage. We started off with brown rice and bread. Both of these foods may seem like staples, but they have a short shelf life. Brown rice, because of its oil content, can go rancid, and bread will mold in no time. Then we moved on to dairy products and boxed meals. Dairy products, even powdered ones, can spoil quickly if not stored correctly. Boxed meals, on the other hand, may seem convenient, but they often contain ingredients that can shorten their shelf life drastically. We also discussed canned fruit and fresh produce. Both of these may seem like healthy options, but they too have their issues. Canned fruit, for instance, can lose its nutritional value over time, and fresh produce, well, it's in the name. It's fresh. It won't last long, and it's not practical for long-term storage. Next, we talked about cereals and nuts. Cereals, especially those that are high in sugar and low in fiber, can attract pests. Nuts, while nutritious, can go rancid due to their high oil content. Lastly, we touched on condiments and rooted veggies. Condiments, while great for adding flavor, don't always have the longest shelf life. And rooted veggies like potatoes, squash, and turnip, while hearty and filling, can also spoil quickly if not stored properly. So why are these foods unsuitable for a prepper pantry? The answer lies in their shelf life and their ability to retain their nutritional value over time. In a situation where you're relying on your pantry to sustain you, you want foods that will last and will keep you nourished. Short shelf life foods and those that lose their nutritional value quickly just won't cut it. To navigate through a food crisis or food shortages, it's crucial to have an efficient and well-stocked prepper pantry, and that means avoiding these common mistakes. It's about more than just surviving, it's about thriving, even in the face of adversity. As we embark on this journey of survival, let's remember, preparation is the key to success. It's about having the foresight to anticipate potential challenges and the wisdom to avoid common pitfalls. In the world of prepping, knowledge is power. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to face whatever comes your way, and that's our goal here at Prepping for Tomorrow. Remember, it's about surviving tomorrow, and avoiding these common mistakes will ensure you're prepared for it. Until next time, stay safe and stay prepared.